Good day to everybody. Today I am going to discuss about the basics concept of ISO. What is the meaning of ISO? Actually, ISO stands for International Organization for Standardization, and this ISO is a non-governmental organization. Actually, it contains standard bodies from more than 160 countries, and this one standard body representing the one each member country. And for example, the American National Standard Institute represents the USA in ISO. Same like that, the BIS, Bureau of Indian Standards, represent India in ISO. So, and this the ISO, the headquarter of ISO is in Geneva, Switzerland. Now we want to we try to understand what is the basic concept of ISO. ISO is a standard, no doubt about this, but it is not a standard. It is not giving the product standard or any procedure or any process, detailed process about that. But it is rather it is the system standard. Actually, it is defines the system standards. What is the should be the system of the organization to run its activities. So this is the system standards, and it is not you don't mix up with the product standard. It will at all not give the product standards, and it is the system standards. And the main motto, main caption of ISO is the say what you do and do what you say. Means the your there will be parity, there will be similarity, huge similarity between your words and works. So that means that there should be some transparency about this ISO certification. Now this ISO has already published more than 2000, 2004, 24,000 standards which are applied to different industries like manufacturing, healthcare and accounting. So why should we need ISO? What is the purpose of ISO? ISO is a international agreed by the experts. You can tell this, it is a formula that describes the best way of doing something. It could be about making a product, managing a process, delivering a service, or supplying materials. It may be. So, and ISO is a ISO helps business of any size and sector by reducing the cost and increasing the productivity and accessing the new markets. So, what are the main purpose of ISO? Why we are taking ISO standard? So, the main advantages of adopting ISO, implementing ISO is the advantages of ISO. Advantages of ISO is the main thing is the international credibility. International credibility. Credibility. And second one is the customer satisfaction. Customer satisfaction. Third one is the government tenders. To achieve government tender, it will be easy if you have ISO. Your organization has already ISO certification. And second one is the business efficiency. business efficiency. Fifth one is the product quality can be improved by by implementing ISO product quality. And third one, sixth one is the marketability. Definitely, the marketability of the organization will be increased. Marketability. Marketability of the organization will be increased by implementing ISO in your organization. No doubt about that. So these are the six advantages of implementing ISO. Now we come to the how the ISO will be formed. The ISO will be developed. How the ISO standard will be developed? There are six stages of developing ISO standards. Six stages of developing ISO standards. Six stages of developing ISO standards. First one is the proposal stage. Second one is the preparatory stage. Third one is the committee stage. I will discuss each stage one by one. And fourth one is the inquiry stage. Fifth one is the approval stage. Sixth one is the publication stage. Now, first stage is the proposal stage. Generally, the industry associations and other customer consumer groups are making the request for the new standard, and the relevant ISO committee will determine whether this new standard is indeed required. So, and then second one is the preparatory stage. Preparatory stage is one working group will be set up to prepare the working draft of the new standard, and this working group is composed of subject matter experts and the industry stakeholders. And committee stage is the optional stage. The committee, ISO committee, actually give the review and the comments on this new standards. And fourth stage is the inquiry stage. Inquiry stage is the DIS, means draft international standard will be formed, and if it is approved at this stage without any technical changes, then the ISO will publish the standard. Otherwise, it will move to the next stage, approval stage, for approval. And the last stage is the publication stage, where the ISO will publish the new standards. So there are so many standards. We know actually so many standards are there in ISO, but we are discussing about our relevant field where the some standards are generally applied, like some standards are applied in our relevant field like food industry and the dairy industry also. So there are standards like now latest standards of ISO 9001 2015. It is the quality management system, QMS. This is the latest version. And another is the ISO 14001 2015. It is the environmental management system. And another one is a very important ISO 22,000, latest version is 2018. It is called FSMS, Food Safety Management System. And fourth one is the OSAS 18,001 2007. It is called OSAS, means Occupational Health Safety and Health Safety and Health Safety Assessment Series. Occupational Health Safety Assessment Series. So the first one is the ISO 9001 2000 Quality Management System, and you know that quality management, this is the environmental management system, and ISO 22000 2018 is the FSMS and OSAS, and now it is converted, this OSAS is updated to generally updated to ISO. It is taken over by the ISO 44001 2018, the latest version. Actually, in March 2018, this was adopted by ISO. The OSAS is actually created by British Standards Institute in 1999, and then it is converted to ISO 45000 2080. So it is upgraded, and now within 3 years, means up to March 2018, you can convert this OSAS 18001 to ISO 45001. These are the deadline from ISO. So what is the difference between OSAS? Basic difference between OSAS 18001 and the ISO 45001 is the ISO OSAS 18001 actually controlling the known hazards, and for ISO 45001 actually organizations proactively find the situations and the sources which have the potential to do the harm. So it is like a quality control and quality assurance. This is the upgradation of OSAS 18000, and ISO 20000 is nothing but a ISO 20000 2018 is nothing but a ISO 9001 plus HACCP, hazard analysis critical control point, and PRP, prerequisite program in industries. So this is the actually there are so many clauses and the standards are same, so they are following the same. Sometimes we confuse about that, so whether the difference of the standard like ISO 9001 and ISO 22001, there are some difference. I have told that it will be ISO 22000 will be ISO 9001 plus HACCP and PRP, which is called. And another confusion is there among us, like that ISO 9001, ISO 9000, there is ISO 9000, there is ISO 9001, there is also ISO 9002, also 9004. So what are the difference between these? And there are some difference between these among these standards. Actually, ISO 9000 will describe the fundamentals and the 7 principles of quality management system, and ISO 9000 is the practical application or practical implementation of the ISO 9000 in the organization, which is called ISO 9001. And ISO 9002 is the model of quality assurance in production and installation. And ISO 9004 describes the continual improvement of the organization of the system. So these are the basic thing of the ISO, and this year is actually denoted by the year of version. Previously ISO 9000 was in 2008, 2008. Now it is upgraded to, this is the latest version. I have written all the latest version of this ISO, and then these ISO standards are very important in food industry and dairy industry also. Now we are going to about the, I have told the 7 principles of QMS, quality management system, ISO 9001. So what are the 7 principles of ISO 9001? 7 principles of 7 principles of ISO QMS, quality management system, QMS. First one is the engagement of people, engagement of people. Second one is the customer focus. It is a very important part of any quality management system and food safety management system, customer focus. Then leadership, then process approach, then improvement, then sixth one is the evidence based decision making, evidence based decision making, decision making, and seventh one is the relationship management, relationship management. So these are the 7 principles of quality management system management. So you can understand this one. And now we going to the point, this ISO 9000, ISO 14001, ISO 9001, ISO 22000 are following the one format, one basic format. This is called NXQS format. So what are the clauses under this NXQSL format? Sorry, NXSL format. So what are the clauses? What is the NXSL format? Generally, they are following these things. This is NXSL format. Clause 1 is the introduction. Clause 2 is the scope. Clause 2 is the scope. Clause 3 is the normative references. Clause 4 is the, sorry, this is clause 0 is the introduction. I have written it mistaken it. Clause 1 is the scope. Clause 2 is the normative references. Clause 3 is the terms and definitions. Terms and definitions. Clause 4 is the context of the organization. Context of the organization. Clause 5 is the leadership. Clause 6 is the planning. Clause 7 is the support. Clause 8 is the operation. Clause 9 is the performance evaluation. Performance evaluation. and clause 10 is the improvement. This is the main thing. Final thing is the improvement. How much you can improve. This is the thing. So these are the 11 clauses actually under this NX SL format, and all the ISO 9000, ISO 14000, ISO 22000 are following this LX SL format. Now we come to the, these are the ISO. I have told that now there is a what is the different ISOs are implemented in your organization, and who will be responsible for this implementation of this ISO. ISO 9001 2015, who will be responsible? Quality control manager and GM, general manager. ISO 14001 2015, who will be responsible? QC, quality control manager, utility manager and GM also. And ISO 22000 2018, who will be responsible for this? QCM, production manager, PM and GM, general manager will be always responsible for this, all this ISO implementation. And ISO 45001 2018, who will be responsible? HR manager, HR department and utility manager and GM. So these are the responsibilities of the following persons to implement the ISO and proper implementation of the ISO in this organization. Now, what are the limitations of ISO? In a brief, I am discussing all these things. I hope that you will understand it better. So, what are the limitations of ISO? ISO, there are good things in ISO, and there are limitations also. The limitations of ISO is the main thing is the huge, intense paperwork. For documentation purpose, the intense paperwork, time, labor will be required. Paperwork will be required, which is very difficult to provide in the busy schedule of any organization or any manufacturing organization. So intense paperwork is there, and personally I think that ISO is very not very specific. Not very specific. What I am telling about this, what not very specific about this is that sometimes they are not very specific. The ISO organizer should think about that, because when your product will be failed in the market, then ISO will not take any responsibility. You have to do the root cause analysis and also make the CAPA, means corrective action, corrective and preventive action you have to take. But although they will not responsible, and they will indifferent in this matter, they are not taking any responsibility for that. I think this point should be very seriously focused by the ISO organizations. And the third one is the it is not very specific, and sometimes the intense paperwork is there, and this is a huge documentation is there for maintaining and implementing ISO in your organization. There should be one different department other than quality control department, production department and utility department. There should be one another department which is called TQM, total quality management. This department should be under the total quality control TQM, total quality control manager, and he has some people with them, staffs with them to run these things, because to maintain the huge documentation work, and to train the people in the organization, properly train the organization regarding about the ISO, and also the conducting the audit, and MRM, means management representative meeting, they have to conduct. So many things are doing, though regular people will not do these things. I personally think that if you want to implement it properly in your organization, you have to another department. You have to have another department like TQM, which is called Total Quality Management Department. You should have. And another thing is that there is some wrong notions among these organizations people, and the management also in some organization, I am telling, and the auditor also not properly doing these things, because they are behaving like that they know everything. But they know everything, it is not sufficient. Those people are working at the floor, they should know all these things. This is the main thing. And they are always charging that you don't know anything, you don't know without guiding them, without giving them a training. They will create the so many non-conformities, and they very forcefully impose it on it. But this is not the right thing, because they should guide the people in the organization. And second thing is the management and the lower management also, and the employees also, workers also, they have the wrong notion about that, to hide the some things there. I also does not tell that you have to hide your mistakes. I also tells that you hide you record, you make the record of your mistakes, but you should find out the root cause of that, and take that and make the proper kappa for that. This is the main thing of the thing. If you hide these things, there will be no scope of improvement. And what is the need of, if you 100% right, then what is the need of taking the ISO? ISO is the continual improvement. Continual improvement means endless improvement, never ending improvement. So never ending improvement is only possible when you properly, honestly record your errors in the, and take the necessary decisions and necessary steps there, corrective actions there, then it will be fulfilled properly. This is my view. Your view may be different. You think about that, what should be the proper thing. Thank you.